I don't think people out there in the world, when they think of Davos, realize we don't sit up here in the mountains in Switzerland and just talk big. We have to actually make these things happen.
This was a more optimistic Davos than other years, but there's also no sense of complacency. People are actually eager to understand, how do we address some of the issues that have been left behind?
Pope Francis sent a small message to Professor Schwab and all participants of this forum. I ask you to ensure that humanity is served by wealth and not ruled by it.
We here are perhaps the most included people in the world in that global economy. So will the most included reach out to the most excluded?
Davos here in Switzerland is the ultimate neutral space. We can bring together people from various different parts of the world with various different perspectives and actually create a space where they can interact.
We will make 30% of leading positions to be occupied by women.
Make a success of globalization.
States of America will continue.
Here we see in a day major speech by President Rouhani of Iran.
That we want to have a better relationship with everyone.
And essentially the answer from Prime Minister Netanyahu. I mean, that's quite extraordinary if you stop and think about it.
Today I'm talking about Syria because this is potentially one of the worst lost generations of our time.
This is nothing to me! Refugees! I know it's here! You think I don't know? Why are you lying to me? Take me! Take me!
I thought this simulation, I found it incredible at the time and still do, that you can put yourself in a room like this in Switzerland and feel as much as you feel.
91 million youth are unemployed. 91 million. Some of them have been unemployed since they have dropped out of high school or university or secondary school. This is a drama that is not going to go away. And in fact, from a statistical perspective, it's not going to peak for another 5 years.
95% of the economic gains from this recent recovery have gone to 1% of the population.
Part of the answer is creating a system that is much more symbiotic between training and education and business.
The need for resilient infrastructure.
Basic needs around urbanization, aging infrastructure, growing population will require about 50 trillion US dollars of investment just to keep level.
By 2050, about 3/4 of the world's population will be living in cities.
The infrastructure really is the barometer of the health of people, the health of nations.
We have to rethink our way of approaching health. It needs a refocus and a transformation.
The problem here is today we don't have a healthcare system. We have a sick care system.
Hyperconnectivity has nothing to do with technology. It is enabled by technology to create new possibilities, new opportunities, new services.
My kids will, if you ask them, are you concerned about your privacy? Does it worry you? They'll say, yeah, that makes sense. Yet they will put everything about their lives online. They don't really understand the consequences of what they're doing.
The challenge we face in climate change is to bring the urgency back into the debates, because attention moved on to other issues, and in fact the climate change challenge got only worse.
Why do we not have masses of people on the street demanding policy?
We are going to win this, and we need to convey the optimism. As we leave, I ask you not to consider just your career, but also your vocation.
So I would ask this question of all the people at Davos, which is the same question every one of us as human beings should be asking. What is the weight I'm leaving on the world? How is what I am doing right now making this world better?